Hello fellow YouTubers and welcome. If you've been following my broadcasts, you'll notice that I've been covering the Pan-Asian light cruiser line, and I've had some fun in the Chumpfin and the Ramat, and I've now moved on to the Harbin. So let's take a look at this light cruiser that's all about the deep water torpedoes. If we look at the armor layout, typical light cruiser fashion, 16mm armor, okay. So yeah, a destroyer with HE is going to wreck you, and by wreck you I mean basically at the end of a day. If you look at your survivability, you've got 27,850 hit points. If we look at the tier 8 destroyer equivalent without a build, so if we look at the Hinsen Yang, and have we got a build on the Hinsen Yang? Yes we have. Okay, you can see he's got 19,650 hit points. So let's not get carried away. You have literally got about 8,000 more hit points than a destroyer, which, trust me, is not a lot in this game. Anyway, having said that, let's have a look at the Citadel. So if I take the nose off, yeah, quite a big Citadel, 100mm, runs the full length of the midsection. Okay, and the armor at the back, I'm not expecting any surprises. No, not really. Okay, so basically you don't want to get shot at all. Okay, that's the play style. They do give you some short puff smokes. I say short puff, it's kind of between a short puff and a long puff. 70 seconds of uptime. It takes 33 seconds to deploy it. So if you can bring your speed down to a quarter speed and then you deploy the smoke, you'll have it for about 103 seconds, which gives you plenty of time to use these guns, which are 130mm guns. Kind of remind me a bit of the Russian destroyer guns, and they will set fires on a 7% chance. The HE does 1900 and the AP 2500. Reload is 5.2 seconds. Turret rotate time is 7.2 seconds. The turret armor is incredibly light on this ship as well. Okay, only 35mm of armor, so she does tend to lose her turrets, just so you know. Something to watch out for. You really don't want to be shot at by anything, really. You want to stay smoked up and concealed and smoke farm from behind islands if you can. The real trick with this ship is her torpedoes. She gets these two sets each side, so 4 sets in all of triple launched deep water torps, the 533mm 5356s, and they've got a range of 11 kilometers, and they do 17,933 damage, do 65 knots, and have a detect of only 0.8 kilometers. However, you won't be killing destroyers with these. These are specifically for cruisers, battleships, and aircraft carriers, so bear that in mind. You will be floating just outside destroyer detection range, looking for enemy ships to push into you so that you can deploy these deep water torpedoes into their path and cause lots of flood damage and destruction. The only issue being that the current meta means that people tend not to push until very much late game, so you need to stay alive to the late game and then find a push and crush it with these deep water torpedoes. That is essentially your role. You can also supply some light fire support for destroyers using your smoke and using an island preferably as well. So you can do that as well, and the guns aren't terrible. The fire arcs are somewhat better than the Chumpfins. The Chumpfin's got like Atlanta style floaty shells, although I'd argue I suspect the Atlanta guns are better. They've got a faster reload, and I think they might even fire further. I mean, the range on these shells isn't great. I mean, it's what, 14.5 kilometers, but the arcs are a fraction flatter than the Chumpfins, enough to make them usable. They are reasonable guns. Initial shell velocity 870 meters a second, so not as floaty as the Chumpfin's shells. Depth charges, yes, you'll be chuffing these out of the back of the ship. She doesn't have ASW. You're not going to be using planes to drop your depth charges, unfortunately, so you're going to literally need a submarine to go underneath you if you're going to have a chance of depth charging them. Okay, her AA defense is okay. It's not super, but 70 is okay. I would argue that since the AA nerf, AA is quite almost irrelevant on ships these days. Maneuverability wise, 35.1 knots. Okay, that's with the speed flag. 660 meter turning circle, not terrible, with a rudder shift of 6.9 seconds, kind of what you expect from a light cruiser, to be honest. Her detectability is 9.5 kilometers. With those 11-kilometer torpedoes, you've got a in a stealth window of the stealth torps of 1.5 kilometers, which isn't great. Another reason why you want to use islands, use smoke, stay in front of the enemy and hope that they're sailing towards you, because you can launch a little earlier if they're at 12 kilometers, because they will sail eventually into your torps, thus reducing the distance, right? But the torps are quite hard to use. You do need people to be pushing into your location, and you need to be moving away at a rapid rate unless you have support from your team. And you are essentially a support ship that requires support from battleships to function effectively. You can run on your own, but if you're running on your own, you want to stay dark and you want to use the torps on a pushing enemy fleet, and you want to stay ahead of a game. And she isn't that quick. I mean, 35.1 knots from a light cruiser. There are plenty of destroyers out there that will go faster than you. Hell, there are even battleships now that will easily keep up with you and catch you. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind. Right, let's have a look at the captain build. Okay, so what I've done with the first point is Swift Fish. Exactly the same build as I did on the Chumpfin. If you haven't watched that video, please do. It's a similar kind of thing. And then we take Priority Target, Superintendent, and Concealment Expert. After that, I've gone with Adrenaline Rush, and then after that, I will be taking Survivability Expert, and then after that, I will be either taking this or this. I would probably take this because I think the torpedoes are more important than the guns, and then finish with Heavy, HE, and Sap Shells. That's your 21 points right there. Let me see, 13, 16... 19, 21, yeah. Okay, just checking. Don't want to get that wrong. Okay, let's look at the equipment. So, it's, again, exactly the same as a Chumpfin. Main armaments modification 1 in slot 1. Engine room protection in slot 2. You could take extension on your defensive AA fire, but I think it's a waste of coal, because I don't think this actually does very much at all. I don't think it's very useful, so don't waste your coal on this ship. Just take engine room protection to look after your steering gears and such. Then after that, slot 3, aiming system modification 1 to improve the guns. Slot 4, propulsion modification 1 to improve your ability to go to full speed. And then finally, concealment system modification 1 to ensure that you can ghost, keeping your concealment at 9.5 kilometers. Okay. Right, with all of that said, let's take her for a spin. Hello fellow YouTubers and welcome. It's here, finally, the Harbin review, the Tier 8 Pan-Asian light cruiser that's all about the deep water torpedoes. As I discovered with the Chumpfin, it's not about the guns with these ships, it really isn't. But it's definitely about the torpedoes. Now, of course, with the meta being what it is, people standing off, it's tricky at times to get it to work. But I'm going to do my best. I'm going to show you 3 games, starting with this one, back to back. We'll just do 3 matches together, and I'll talk you through it. Exactly what I thought. My feelings exactly. Oh, don't make me use that weird voice again. Yes, fully voiced captain from the Pan-Asian event. Yeah, I'm so glad I got him. I'm getting the full Pan-Asian experience here, complete with Pan-Asian accent and Pan-Asian dialect. I'm not even sure what language that is. Is it Korean? Is it Chinese? Is it Japanese? Is it Satsuma? I don't think it's Japanese, that's for sure. It's not. That is not Japanese. Taiwanese, maybe. Korean, not sure. Or good old-fashioned Chinese, right? Yeah. Anyway, I've been spawned in a really stupid place, as usual, right in the middle of the map. This is not where you want to be. Yes, there are obviously islands ahead of me, but this is a CV game, And the CV's going to keep the middle lit permanently, probably. So there's not really a lot of point. It's a tier 10 match, as you can see from that matchmaker. And this is going to be problematic. CV games. You can expect a lot of this when you're grinding tier 8 to tier 10, to be honest. This is pretty much your average fare, unfortunately. So I'm going to head over to the right flank, and I'm going to see if I can actually turn on the guns and get anything working. Okay, I finally reached an island. And our lightning is lighting a Kagoro on the right side at F10 on the minimap, and he's smoked up, so I'm hoping the lightning will take him down. I'm hoping that Kurfürst is going to push D, but he's taking a very, very light angle to it, so we should be able to put some torps down for him. But this is what you're looking for. You're looking for opportunities to send deep water torps at pushing enemy targets. And there's not a lot of that going on. We're pushing at A. I'm so glad I didn't spawn at A, because the enemy teams are withdrawing there. Their 4501 just took out our Sejong. That's unfortunate. They're not pushing mid either, really. There's a great big island in the way. So we're just going to smoke up on this corner, drop some deep water torps for the Kurfürst, and hope he doesn't break off. Maybe get some shots down. Of course, he vanished. The reason he vanished is our lightning went into smoke, because he's dueling a Kagoro at the moment and winning. Good for him. Does he get him? Yeah, the lightning took out their destroyer on this flank, which is very useful for us. You see, that's another thing you have to worry about with light cruisers. Getting lit by enemy destroyers, you know? So we're going to send 2 sets of deep water torps at the Kurfürst. Who's grounded himself? Okay, fine. Of course. I mean, okay, so you can see the guns are actually. Let's talk about the guns. The guns are actually 130mm. They've got lower arcs than the Chumpfen guns, the 127s. They're very usable. I like these guns. Compared to the Chumpfen, they are an improvement. But you only get 10 of them as opposed to the Chumpfen's 12. However, they are on a slightly faster reload. And they have a reasonable fire chance. So the guns are okay, you know? The turrets, however, are a little weak. The turret armor is only about 32mm, 35mm, something like that. So you can expect to lose a turret from time to time if people shoot back. Near torps, so we need to get out of there quick. Yeah, he torpedoed the corner I was on. And we're lit by the carrier. So I don't feel that safe, to be honest with you. It's possible battleships could sneak a few shells over this island. Unlike me. As you can see, lower arcs. With the Chumpfen now, I would probably be hitting that guy with shells because it's a higher arc on the shells. But that said, these shells have higher velocity, which is a good thing. Because it's easier to aim with these shells. It's easier to get more shells on target. Okay, just going to smoke up here. See if we can get some hits on the Neo. Yeah, he's obscured, so he's not the easiest target to hit. I'm just trying to get my spot on the minimap on the ship. See that little round circle? That's what I was trying to do there. But he's gone behind that really tall cliff. That peninsula rock. So, those look good. Okay, now we're getting some shells on target. And yes, there are lots of planes about. Quango. Not sure what Quango means. I know what it means in English, but not in Chinese. Okay, so got a fire on the Njord. That's good. Only 48 seconds left on the smoke. These smokes don't last particularly long, but you do get 4 of them. Okay, that's a Neil dealt with. Okay, Colombo did most of that. Most of the heavy lifting, so I didn't have to. Chucking some torps out in case the Andalusia grows a spine. I'm not sure he will. He's got a Colombo to worry about, so he's going to move away. And herein lies the problem. I can't stress enough, we need ships to actually push into us if we want to deep water torpedo them. So you are going to be relying on your guns a lot. So it's just as well that the guns on the Harbin are actually quite reasonable compared to the Chumpfen. I don't think the Chumpfen guns are particularly bad, it's just you have to lead your targets more, quite a lot more, and the reload is quite slow. I mean, if you compare her, say, to the Atlanta, I think the Chumpfen deserves a faster reload, and the reason being she doesn't have radar and she doesn't have hydro. Her only gimmick is the deep water torps, so I don't think it would be unbalanced to give her the same rate of fire as the Atlanta, which is a ship she's basically based on. She is essentially an Atlanta. Let's see if we can get the fuses. Yeah, okay, they didn't prime, they didn't fuse. I thought that carrier short dropped too short, and I was right. Good. But this is another problem. In a carrier match, you're in a light cruiser, and carriers love to destroy light cruisers. They know how soft we are. And rocket planes are your biggest problem, to be honest. You can usually avoid the torpedoes if you're going at any sort of speed, but the rockets are bad news. Okay, there's a Chikuma 2 over there. I have that ship. I should probably try her out. She's a weird kind of hybrid ship, really. She's based on the Ibuki, but she has torpedo bombers. Yes, you heard that right. Torpedo bombers. Should be able to wreck her with these guns, though. Because she's essentially just an Ibuki at the end of the day. Smoke up here. She's healing. Of course she is. Got some good hits into her and her fire. And now it's just a case of finishing her off while she's healing, which might take a little bit longer, but I believe we have the firepower to do it. You see, these guns, like I said, are better than the Chumpfen guns, to be honest. They are a country mile better, in my opinion. And I'm being torpedoed again, but as you can see, yeah, got him. I can avoid these just about. Ooh, that was close. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, not too shabby, right? Rocket planes. Could manage to avoid those too. Slapped a patch on. Healing up. And now I'm going to try and get some torps down on the Begonia. Because the Begonia is pushing into me, you see, so I if I finally get to use the deep water torpedoes. And we're what? Over 10 minutes into the match and I finally get to use them. Gives you some idea of the meta now. These light cruisers don't really suit the meta. They are fun, okay? I have been having fun in these ships. I am enjoying the Harbin. I think she's a definite clear upgrade to the Chumpfen. I think she's all right, but it's a very specific play style, and you have to hope that you get lucky, because this Begonia right now is dodging all over the place, changing course continuously, and making himself very unpredictable. So actually getting a hit with the deep water torpedoes is proving to be difficult. I've got the starboard side loaded though, so I do tell a lie, it looks like they're on cooldown as well, but they're coming off cooldown next. So we're just going to tuck it up behind the island and see if the Begonia pushes me. If he does, I should be able to give him 6 good reasons why you shouldn't push into a Harbin that's camped behind an island. Great torpedo arcs at the back and the front on this ship. Unlike the Chumpfen that's just got good arcs on the back. He's moving away, I don't believe it. He's heading back to sea. And he's managed to avoid every single torpedo I sent his way. Very unpredictable. Uh-huh. Okay, we can get some shells into him. Just about. But now he's turning again towards me. He's quite low health though. We should be able to finish him off. But now, of course, I'm close enough for my guns to light me in smoke, which is a bit of a concern. And there goes that turret. Yeah. He's definitely coming my way now. I think I've got his attention. Honestly, my captain has so much to say right now. It's... yeah, astonishing. Astonishing amounts of verbal. Okay. Yeah, somebody's flooding him or fire. It's a fire? Flood? Let's have a look. Fire. Okay, so the cargo set fire to him with rocket planes or bombers. Probably rocket planes, actually. And down he goes. Pretty underwhelming. And now we've just got a carrier to deal with. I mean, on the plus side, we've won the match, right? But I really haven't had a chance to show off the deep water torpedoes once because of the state of the game. It's not really a light cruiser meta. That said, you can have fun in these ships, and you will have times when the enemy fleet will push into you. It will happen, but it usually happens late game now. Or mid to late game. So you need to stay alive so that you can have some impact in the mid to late stages of a match. Okay, we're just going to push north now to see. Okay, we're starting to approach the carrier. I might be able to get some shells into him with the front guns. We can certainly give it a try. And the Implacable has launched more bombers. But they're for the Begonia, who's quite low. I should be able to take the cap. And if we're going to win in 50 odd seconds, which is a shame, because I would very much like to put some deep water torps into that carrier, but it looks like we've got this. Okay, let's try the guns. Can I get over the island? Where is he? What's he doing? Is he reversing? Looks like he's reversing. Okay. Yeah, okay, we got one. We managed to sneak one shell over. Okay. And there is a gap to the left, and he's reversing into it, so should be able to get some shells into him, at least. And there we go. 3 hits and a fire. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, we've got him. We've got him. Oh, and the U-4501 finishes him off with a homing torpedo. Great. Aren't subs great, right? Yeah. Anyway, there we go. So, 66,000 damage. Pretty average fare. 1,872 experience earned. Yeah, not terrible. Not the best, not the worst. Top 5 finish. 11k on the Chikuma, 26k on the Kurfürst, 20% credit modifier, 200,000 credits made. Okay, let's do another one. So we're back in the Harbin. This time we're on the map Trident. It's domination. The last match, well, yeah, it was pretty average fare. Didn't really get to use the deep water torps. This is on tier at least. It's not a tier 10 match, so that's good. We're top tier. And there are a lot of battleships to torpedo. However, there's a carrier and submarines, which are pretty much going to wreck any opportunity we get to really show off what this ship can do, I'm pretty sure. I like cruisers and carriers. I can't help thinking CVs have kind of wrecked carrier play to a certain extent. Well, like cruiser play, that is. Ah, for fuck's sake. Let's start again. Redo. Right, for our second match, we're on the map Trident, and it's domination mode again. And it's a CV and sub match. At least it's on tier though, so there's that. But it's going to be a tough one. They've got a lot of battleships, haven't they? That's good. We like deep water torpedoing battleships. Oh yes, we do. But we'll see. We'll see if I get an opportunity. I mean, it's put me on a flank, which is nice, but it's put me on a submarine flank, and that could be problematic. We'll see. Okay, it looks like the carrier's lighting this flank, so I'm going to move over to mid, because the carrier is taking a very keen interest in this. I notice he's in a division with the Nagato, and I kind of thinking he's going to be spotting for his teammate, isn't he? Which should make things pretty tricky. Okay, I'm lit. So we're going to use the defensive AA fire. As you can see, we're not really doing much. Haven't shot any planes down yet. I mean, she's got reasonable AA, but AA has been nerfed quite hard, so she's not that great. Okay, we're just going to stick it behind this island and see if we can get some opportunities to cause a little bit of mayhem. Gonna send some torps. Trying to get some use out of these deep water torps. So I'm just dropping a trail of them over the cap. With a bit of luck, that cruiser and battleship that are moving into cap now, the Munchen and the Hawk, hopefully one of them will swallow a torpedo. And of course we can use the reload, booster reload, which allows us to reload our torps to use them on demand, so we can send another spread from both sides. But I'm not going to maneuver my ship to launch the others just yet. Unfortunately, our submarine is under the water at the moment, so I've got no eyes on the cap. And even though I have a carrier parked at H3, I have no eyes, which I find astonishing. He's finally lighting targets with his torpedo bombers, but he's really interested in the Nagato, by the look of it. Yeah, okay, deep water torps missed. That's annoying. I'm lit, so I might as well. Might get a torp on the Munchen, but he's speeding up, so I doubt it. We'll see. It looks like he's turning into them, though. Yeah, he's turning into them. That's kind of funny. But he'll find a gap. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh. Yep, we hit someone with a deep water torpedo, right? 1.5 matches in and we actually hit someone with a deep water torpedo. And down he goes. Took out a Gokase with another deep water torpedo. And this is what these ships are really good at. Really, really good at. Okay, we should be able to get the Munchen too while we're at it. Now he's low. But I need to use the HE. He's too well angled for the AP. But we should be able to get him. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Because like I said before, I like these guns. So these guns are pretty good. These guns are pretty good. But I've been pushed all the way back down to I4. However, we took out 2 cruisers, we got a couple of torpedo hits, and we stopped a push. That's what the Harbin is all about. That's what the entire line of ships is all about. It's finding these pushes. Now you can see there's a build-up of battleships on the left flank. that are pushing down. Now, I would love to camp I1, I2, but I can't rely on the CV player to not get me lit, and also the enemy carrier is looking for me. He's very aware of my position on the minimap because I've been lit half a dozen times already. So, if they're any type of team, him and the Nagato, and the Implacable and the Nagato, they will keep me lit, and then the battleships and cruisers pushing down that line will sink me. So I can't really set up where I'd like to. That's another thing. These light cruisers are actually quite slow compared to a lot of ships of their class and type. We don't go anywhere particularly quickly. Battle cruiser levels of speed, I guess. Okay, I'm lit. Not sure what by. It's probably the submarine. The salmon. And that's another problem with being on the submarine flank. Okay, I'm going to put some fire down on the Hawk. And juke away from the Russian cruiser and the Nagato that are pushing our CV. I don't know why our CV didn't displace, to be honest, but there we are. He knows more than I do about the enemy's positioning, so he should have left ages ago, really. But he hasn't, and they're pushing into him. And again, I could have used that as to my advantage if the enemy team didn't have a carrier that was spotting for their Nagato. In hindsight, I could have been braver. I could have floated around I2, J2 and got some pretty good deep water torpedo strikes in on those pushing enemy battleships. I also might have got lit by the Implacable for my greed and then sunk by them. So there is that to consider. If it wasn't a CV match, right? The fun police, yeah. Okay, so we're just going to keep picking on the Hawk. I can get shells into him, so let's do that. Yeah. Some very good hits there. And he's taking evasive action, don't blame him. And I'm lit by the carrier again. Got a fire on him. Looks like a perma, and down he goes. Okay, good. May have stole the frag, but that's okay. That's okay. That's teamwork for you. And our carrier is still alive at H3, which is shocking. How on earth is our carrier still alive? He is literally playing his little socks off. And he's got a salmon torpedo. Yeah, the salmon got him with his rear torps by the look of it. Submarine kill. New Mexico. It says New Mexico, but I think the salmon must have put some torps into him, got him low, and then the New Mexico just finished him off. According to the mini-map, that's kind of the story I'm getting there. Okay, so now Team Red's going to push into B. Now, this is good. This is good. This is something we can stop happening. Great defensive ship, great support ship, the Harbin. So we should be able to crush their push. I've gone too far behind this island really to be of any use. And of course the carrier is still lighting the flank. So I've got to be a little bit careful here. We've only got 22,000 hit points left. That's kind of destroyer levels of health. So bear that in mind when you're playing this ship. You've got a very low health pool and you have a Citadel. Two things to very much consider. Okay, we're getting some shots in on the Kutuzov. Someone sunk him. I wonder why those shells hadn't hit, but the Odin got him. Okay, and the Sanzang got the Implacable. So both carriers have been neutralized. Just going to avoid these torps. Yeah. Oh, he's torping the Duke of York. Okay. Good for him. He managed to avoid one of those. Got his engine though. Okay. Oh, there's a salmon. A fire on him. Oh, he's low. Can we finish him off? Yes, we can. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. And the turret traverse on the Harbin is very good too. It's just fast enough to be able to respond quickly to any threats within, say, 180 degrees of you. They're not the fastest turret traverse, but they're not bad. They're not bad. Usable. But the rear torpedo arcs are definitely tighter than the front torpedo arcs, but not by very much. Or are they? Are they about the same? They look about the same, actually. They're decent. I think the torpedo arcs on this ship are decent. So we're sending some deep water torps at the New Mexico. Then we're going to reload those torpedo tubes using the reload booster. And send some more. So we've got 12, 18 fish in the sea. Let's see if we can make it 24. There we go. That's a lot of torpedoes. Okay. But unfortunately, as you can see, I mean, New Mexico's already dead, so kind of a waste. But I wanted you guys to at least see what it looks like when you launch 24 torps, right? Because it's quite glorious, really. Glorious. Okay. Another pretty average match, really. 51,000 damage down, 1,253 XP this time. Yeah, we didn't have much battle impact, but it didn't help that we had a CV team in the map on the enemy side looking out for me, so that kind of scared me off a bit. I wasn't very greedy, because I think greed would have got me killed. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, one more after this. Okay, so this map, this time is Sleeping Giant. It's domination again. And this is the last one I'll be doing for now. It's a tier 10 match. Oh no. And there's carriers again. I can't for the life of me seem to get a game without carriers when I'm in the Harbin, to be brutally honest, which is a shame. Because if a good carrier player wants to, they can make your life absolutely hell. Still, we've spawned again in mid, but on this particular map, I like where we've spawned, and you know why, don't you? Because look at that huge island at D6. That is my destination. I want to be able to camp D and send volumes of deep water torpedoes through the lanes with a view to hopefully catching the odd cruiser and battleship unawares. We'll see how well that goes. Okay, just got lit by the cargo briefly. Will anyone shoot at me? Priority target says no. But he dropped a spotter squadron, so got to deal with that. That's going to keep lighting me as I move across. And there are battleships like a Vermont. There's a Vermont over there in a Sunny Sen, and they're bored. Yep, something launched. I think the Vermont just launched. So I've got a big volley of AP shells coming my way. And something else launched over there as well. Whew. That was a Charles Martel. So the Charles Martel had a crack as well. So if you look top right, you can see 327,300 points of shell damage just got thrown at me because of that carrier. But I'm still here. I'm still here. Okay, we've got a Halland here that refuses to spot. That's going to be another problem. When you have destroyers that refuse to spot, and you're in a light cruiser, and you have no eyes on the cap because the carrier isn't spotting the cap, your destroyer for some unknown reason isn't spotting the cap, you're kind of screwed. I mean, somehow the Jaeger managed to get himself lit. I have no idea how. I guess the Montana spotted him. It sure as hell wasn't the Halland. And so there's going to be some Jaeger torps coming through. There they go, on the Montana. But he's moving away behind the island, so there's no point in risking anything. You can see they've got some ships camped at G6 on the minimap, G5, G6. On the corner there, Napoli and Sun Yat-sen. There's a Republican of Vermont prowling the H&I line, looking to get dev strikes on light cruisers and cruisers. So we've got to be a little bit careful here. Okay, Vermont's sat over there. Out of range of my guns. And that's another problem with this ship. I don't have the longest range guns. And the enemy team isn't pushing D. They sent a Jaeger in to have a look. The Jaeger's now gone. Destroyed by our fleet because he made a mistake. I think the Sun Yat-sen got him. And we find ourselves in this weird situation with a Halland right next to me. I need that Halland to go into D and start lighting targets, but the enemy fleet is standing off. They're not pushing on this flank, so I can't really use my deep water torpedoes. I could, but it would be a waste. It would be a waste. Okay, we're going to move up on the cap and join our fleet at D. At least I might be able to get some gunnery done. But it doesn't look like I'm going to get to use the deep water torpedoes. The main's going into A right now, but I really don't want to fire on him. I've got islands in the way as well. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Okay, we got the assisted capture, so that's something, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna move to mid. I'm gonna go between these two islands in front of me. Can't you see the shell trajectory is too low? I thought so, which is why I haven't been firing. Chumpfin might get over that rock, but these guns won't. So try some shells on the mains. Let's give that a go. Help if I had the right shell type. The Van Orange got him. With his secondaries, okay. Fun times. But there really isn't much movement going on in this match at all. And we're, what, 8 minutes in? And it's been like watching paint dry, to be honest. Ah, there's Carver. Oh. Now, I see a chance here. To kill a Carver. Let's go. Can we sink this guy? Got some hits on him back there, I guess. And then there. Those are for the Iowa. Oh, no, he's turning into the cap. Hey, we got the Carver, though. The Karbarovsky. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And this is what it's like. You're going to spend the first 10 minutes or 8 to 10 minutes of every match watching paint dry and keeping yourself alive. It's really boring, especially in the tier 10 matches. And then suddenly there'll be movement, people pushing, and you'll get to use all your toys. If you're still alive, of course, and you haven't died of boredom. Okay, let's see if we can get some fires into the Iowa. I must admit, I do like the Harbin, though. At least she's got decent guns, which kind of makes up for the fact that you're not going to get to torpedo people very often. Can we get the Iowa down? He's on fire. I reckon we got him, haven't we? Ah, the Benham stole the frag with a flood. Of course he did. Of course he did. Of course he did. That Iowa was mine, mate. Okay, we're going to go to mid. And I've just noticed there's a Yoshino in mid. Oh no. I might have made a mistake here. Someone's targeting me on priority target. But the Yoshino isn't firing at me. He seems to be firing at the Minnesota, maybe? Not sure. And the second I start launching torpedoes, he moves away. Okay. Yeah, he really isn't looking at me, is he? Strange. Okay. No, he's much more interested in the Vermont and the Minnesota. So, good. We can use this to our advantage. I've got a smoker anyway going. Smokes off cooldown, so if things get a bit hot, I can always smoke out. Let's do that. Let's do that. And finally, they're pushing D. Finally. Those torps look good on the Yoshino. Ha! Boom, chakalaka. There you go. 2 hits and a sinking. Ah, finally. Still my beating heart, right? I think that Yoshino was having some sort of daydream. I think he was running scared of the Vermont. Like I was earlier. Okay. Getting some good hits in on the Sun Yat-sen. Of course, the Yoshino launched torpedoes, but we got the Sun Yat-sen, and I should be able to avoid those. Yeah, yeah. Yep. No problem. Okay, and all of a sudden, we've sunk 3 ships. Go us, right? Yeah. Shocking. They're still pushing on this flank, so I should be able to use the island to get some more shells in on the Napoli and the Republic, hopefully. Yep. Okay, that's decapping him. I'm lit by the enemy carrier's planes, which is kind of annoying, because it means the enemy team knows exactly where I am. But I'm using the island, so I'm not expecting them to be able to shoot back particularly well. And that Napoli is starting to look low. And we've got a fire on him. And then our shells missed, okay. Because he smoked up. Honestly, I launched those because I'm bored, not because they're actually going to do anything. There you go, I've said it. I hope you've learned loads. I really do, because honestly, playing this line of ships has certainly opened my eyes. They really don't suit the current meta at all. Yeah, we're going to smoke up. I don't like being lit by that carrier. Its carriers that kind of wreck your game. I mean, people will push into you, and you will get deep water torpedo hits. Like I did in this match, but it's not going to happen very often, and it's usually going to happen late game or mid to late game. Okay, we're getting some shells into the Republic. Or not. Those plunged at the last second, didn't they? Okay, that's better. I think you need to literally raise the gun line to the upper rail with these guns. Okay, he fired into my smoke. Still no fires. Come on, give me a fire on him. Come on, my RNG already. I've only actually caused 3 fires with these guns. There we go. There we go. He instantly put that out? No, he didn't. Okay. And now he's behind the island, so I can't see him. I'm not too surprised our Halland's got himself killed. Very strange Halland play there. Makes me want to get my Halland out, right? I'm kind of tempted, not gonna lie. Get some shells into the Vermont. Can we do that? Yeah. I was on for a Kraken this match. I was definitely on for a Kraken, but teammates kind of stole a couple of my frags. Which is unfortunate. Also, if the spotting had been better and the Halland had actually done his job, it would have made the Kraken more real. It's been a good game. I think this game is probably the one I prefer the most out of the 3 I've played so far. Ow. Fortunately, most of that was, well, all of that was overpens from the Vermont's guns. I didn't think he'd find the angle, but he did. Scary. Okay, we win. So what's that? 3 wins in a row? I think the matchmaking on the Harbin is very strong. It is possible to lose in this ship, but not today, apparently. Okay, so 66,000 damage. Again, pretty average fare. 350,000 credits made. 2,000. Oh, we broke 2,000 XP. Okay, all right. Top two finish. Yeah, well done, Benham. I mean, what can I say? I love the Benham. If you haven't watched any of my Benham videos, I posted one yesterday, and there are others in the collection. So please do see what I think of the Benham. Lovely boat. Did some good stuff. You see the Iowa, I think the Iowa could have been one of mine. 66,000 total, 39,000 from the main battery, 15k from Torpedoes, and 11,000 from Fires. 20% credit booster, 250,000 credits made. Well, my name's Lone Gun, and if you've enjoyed the content today, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you.